Hi everyone, my name's Anna Marie. Welcome to this card making project. This week it's quite exciting because I'm going to do a 3-project special. Next Sunday in the UK it's Mother's Day, and I thought it would be rather fun to make 3 very different cards, all for your mum, showing 3 different ways of how to use your gorgeous Anna Griffin products. All are very easy once you've seen how to put them together, and all of 3 very different styles. Now, I know in different parts of the world it's not Mother's Day until later in the year, but hopefully this will give you ideas and inspiration. So what we're going to do is start off with our base card for project 1. So this is a 7x5 inch card, and I'll show you it on our cardometer for any new viewers. This is a cardometer that I've created, and it shows the different sizes of card available, starting from the largest at the A4 size, going all the way down to an ATC. So our card is the 7x5, and then that gives you a good idea of just the size that we're working with. As always, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to give my card a good sharp crease along the edge, just to make sure that it looks nice and professional when it's stood on your mum's mantelpiece. So the first thing we're going to do is the inside. Now this might look a little bit complicated to people, but trust me, it's really simple and it's a great effect. The first thing I've done is I've actually cut out a layer, and the layer was to fit the inside of the card in an ivory. It's like a paper slash cardstock. It's roughly 180 GSM weight. Don't get hung up on your weights and everything. Some people like to know what it is, some people aren't bothered. If you like it, you use it. Now what I've done is I've cut it out as a matten layer to fit the inside, and then using one of the Fretwork dies from Anna, I've cut out the inside for the fretwork, and I'm actually what you would call the waist. I'm using that. Now once I've die cut the inside and taken the fretwork part away, which we are going to use, I've then ran it through my die cutting machine in an embossing folder, and the embossing folder is from the Artful patterns, and it's called the Ornate tile. Once I'd embossed it, I lightly tapped it with some of Anna's pink ink from the Summer Fall collection of ink pads from 2016. And then I put a piece of wax paper over the top of it, and I put it through my die cutting machine and squashed it flat again, so that I've got the pattern without the raised element, because we don't want it too raised for the inside of our card. Now I've got double-sided tape on the back of it, and I'm just going to position this through the centre of our card. And if I position it roughly about there, so now you can see we've got a big aperture in the middle. So the piece that I actually die cut was this, and that fretwork came from the centre, and then I've left it as it is in the ivory colour. I've also stamped using Anna's Chalkboard stamps Love You, using the same pink ink that's available in the Summer Fall collection. Now something I found by accident is, after cutting out the chalkboard sentiment, you know how I like to sort of use your dies and everything and show you different ways with them? Well, it just so happens that if you cut it carefully enough, this little sentiment fits in the little notches that are in the centre of the fretwork. And the easiest way to do it, if you've cut it to the right size of the actual stamp, you simply slip the notches around the outside of the stamp like that, and it just holds it in place. How cool is that? So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back of our fretwork die, just so it holds in place in the centre of the card. And I'm using glossy accents, and I'm simply putting it in places that you can't see, so it's in the places that are a little bit wider on the back of the actual die. And then I'm going to pop it back in the centre of where we've taken the die from, and just press it down, and hopefully that will hold. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Anne-Marie, I've got nowhere to write anything to my mum. I know that's the only thing about this. You'd have to write on this side or on the back of the card, because as I was making it I just thought it's so pretty not to use it. Or you could maybe use a really dark pen and put it on, but I would just, you know, write on this side or on the back. So that's the inside, and it's a little bit different for your insert. Now we're going to do the outside. I'm going to use my bone folder again just to make sure that score is nice and sharp. And the first thing I've got for the outside is from Anna's Pretty Layers collection, and I've trimmed it around the edge to make sure that I can see that scallop. And then once I've trimmed it, if you're not that good with scissors and you end up with uneven lines, simply tap an ink pad around the outside, and then if it's the same colour, that will hide any unevenness that you've got. So I'm going to position that through the centre, like so. And then next, I've used the same embossing folder on a piece of Anna's Perfect Palette cardstock. The embossing folder was the Ornate tiles from the Artful patterns collection. I've cut the cardstock just to fit the centre of the card, like that, and I'm positioning it. It's on 3D foam. Next, what I've got is the fretwork die that we used for the centre. I've cut out in the same pink that we've used for the actual embossing. Now I've actually put in glue on the back of this already, just to save us a little bit of time. So I'm just going to simply position that through the centre of the layer that we embossed, and then I've done the same again in Anna's glitter cardstock, and it's exactly the same die cut. Now I've got some adhesive on the back of this, and I'm going to lay it across the previous die cut, like that. So we've got one landscape and one portrait. There we go. Press them down. Then I've got a sentiment from the Nearest and Dearest collection that says Mother, and I'm simply going to peel it away from the backing, and I'm going to position that through the centre of the glitter fretwork die, like that. And then to finish our card off, I've got 4 bows that are all in ivory, and I'm going to put them in all 4 corners. Now I've already got foam tape on the back of these, just a little foam pad at either side, and finish that off with the 2 at the bottom. There we go. And the last one. And that is our card finished. Very simple, very pretty. That's our inside, matches to our outside. Obviously you'd be able to maybe use your Xyron or something like that for your glue. Take a little bit more time. Oh, my sentiment's dropped off. Now, if for any reason you ever have trouble sticking onto the glitter stickers, I don't normally, but I've obviously not pressed that down firm enough. Just add a little bit of glue on the back of whatever you're trying to stick to your glitter stickers or your glitter cardstock in this case. Press it down so it can adhere, and there we go. So that's our finished card. Looks so pretty, and it's idea number 1 for Mum. Stands up nicely and it will still post. You've only got the layers from the sentiment and then the layer from the embossed layer for anybody who's worried about posting. And there we go. Idea number 1 finished for Mum. A quick and easy card with just something a little bit different for the insert, and hopefully that would look great on any mum's mantelpiece, and it's given you just a little bit of an idea of what you can do that's a little bit different. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again next time.